Hello everybody, this is Dr. Novak again. What I want to talk about is two things. One is, what do you do with an Apple Snail after it's done cleaning up your aquarium? And I'll show you what I did with mine to keep feeding the little guy, and then I can always get him and put him back in the aquarium. This is a goldfish aquarium course. It's going to be taken down. The substrate has been compacting. The sand has. So in November or so, I'm going to add more to the substrate, either more kitty litter, and I'm going to make it so it doesn't compact down. And I may even make a different way of doing the plenum. But anyway, to get on with the video, I wanted to read you something that I wrote, and it's very interesting. Many hobbyists say that it's impossible to have oxygen in the substrate because the substrate will compact. Just what happened to the aquarium you're looking at, and therefore will inhibit any biological processes to take place. However, they forget about the substrate permeability qualities and the large part it plays in the microbial and chemical processes. The permeability of kitty litter laterite and the size of the substrate allows oxygenated aquarium water with inorganic compounds to pass through the substrate on a current-carrying magnetic field, which then allows the substrate to stay more aerobic. As you notice in that sentence, I wrote size of the substrate plays a large part in it versus the sand that is compacting here. Such substrate has two characteristics that enable fluids to move through it: porosity and permeability. Porosity is the presence of small openings, or pores. Permeability means that some of the pores are connected by spaces through which fluids can move. Nonetheless, actual tests of aquariums have confirmed that existence of oxygen at low levels for bacterium to exist, and exist it does. Oxygen penetration is less and less with depth. Okay, so the deeper you go, the less and less oxygen penetration is there. It decreases for three reasons: microbial metabolism, subsequent biochemical processes, and the process of compacting soil and substrate. I will repeat that: microbial metabolism, subsequent biochemical processes, and the process of compacting soil and our substrate. Now, this is not me talking. This is what's being taught in our universities and colleges. Some people can't seem to understand that I don't know what I'm talking about. Well, it's not me talking here. This is our universities and our colleges that teach this. Exactly what I just told you. Okay? I know some people would like to believe that they're right and they have an opinion, but you do have an opinion. But you're not, you don't have a right to your own facts. You're a right to your opinions, but not to your own facts. These are facts that are given right in our university and colleges. Diffusion is a very efficient, effective process over short distances. However, it has its limitations, especially if soil becomes more and more compact over time. Yet, the presence of oxygen in the biocenosis clarification basket, known as a BCB, and a plenum set up correctly, suggests that oxygen does diffuse as far as the center of each basket and at the bottom of the plenum too. Concomitantly, biochemical processes may produce or retain some oxygen. Differential pressures exist across gradients. ion displacement, differential pressures, exist when there is a relationship with carbon dioxide removal. If there is a substrate producing some carbon dioxide, it then becomes a factor in creating anoxic conditions. The addition of anion producers such as microbial or aggregate or both needs to produce enough oxygen to encourage or attract the carbon dioxide, and that will then move the cantons, releasing the oxygen and consequently going more aerobic. The point being made here is that oxygen is present in the substrate of each basket, and it's certainly not there only because of diffusion alone. Okay, I was just at the University of Florida not long ago, a few weeks ago, and spoke to one of the microbiologists there, and he concurred with me. This is exactly what happens as long as substrates don't compact. Now, as I said before, this is what's being taught in our universities and colleges. Some people have made the claim that nitrates of 500 parts per million will not hurt fish. Well, this is fictitious nonsense. Okay, fish are not ever subject to such high nitrate levels in the wild. They're never subject to it. It's almost like saying that we are not susceptible to cancer with secondhand smoke. That's almost what you're saying. Just because a fish doesn't show any outward signs that at 500 parts per million of nitrates, it's not showing anything. Some fish at that level will already be showing signs of stress because the nitrates are just way off the charts. Remember, they're not subject to such nitrate levels in the wild. So therefore, you're subject them to something that does not exist in their natural environment. So for those people who say that, you're completely wrong. Get your facts straight. Like I said, you're entitled to your opinion, but not your own facts. These are not facts that are being taught in our university and colleges. So if you want to make up stuff and tell people that, you go ahead. It's your channel. You do what you want. But don't come on my channel and try to convince people that you're right and I'm wrong. I show people what our universities and colleges are teaching people, our microbiologists. Unless you can prove me wrong, please do. In fact, I will even challenge those people saying that. If you want, I will take you to the University of Florida and you can present your case to the professors there and tell them that they're wrong and that you're right. How does that sound? Okay, let's get on to what did I do with my little Apple Snail? Well, after he's done cleaning up, and it's good for tanks that are having algae problems. Sometimes you need an Apple Snail. In this case, I don't want to break down the tank until the weather gets cooler. I got little Apple Snail, and he did his job. He cleaned up the whole tank completely. Ate up all the algae. He ate up plants. That's what they do. They eat everything. So instead of put them back in the lakes or ponds here in Florida, these are part of the natural animal life that exists in our lakes and ponds here in Florida. And most of these snails cannot take cold. So if you're up north and one of these get into a lake or pond, it probably won't make it. The ponds and lakes get just too cold. Their lifespan isn't that long to even worry about. But so what I did is I put them in what I call a container garden. And this is something that's not really told to people, but it is part of our aquarium hobby. You go out and you get a tub, a nice good sized tub. You can buy them at the hardware store. Doesn't matter which hardware store you go to. And buy yourself a nice big tub. And then you go on the internet. You can go to a company called Trickers They've been around for maybe 100 years. And you can buy pygmy or miniature water lilies from them. You can buy all kinds of colors. The only thing of it is if you wait too long, they don't usually have any for sale because they've been bought out. They're not inexpensive plants. They're like $35 to $45 a plant for one of these plants. But anyhow, I got a pot, and it's really easy to set up. Put about 2-3 inches of soil, then go off the shelf and pick some nitrogen fertilizer. You can pick the stuff that you sprinkle on the ground, whatever, and sprinkle it all at the bottom. After you got about 2-3 inches of soil, sprinkle it all down at the bottom. Then after that, refill it back up with dirt until you're about maybe 8-9 inches away from the top of the container. So it's all filled with dirt. Then plant your rhizomes from your water lilies. And that's it. It's that simple. If you have a patio, you can put it on a patio. If you have a porch, let's say you live in an apartment, you can put it on your porch. It's not that heavy. And it will grow beautiful water lilies. These pygmy water lilies. The flowers, some of the water lilies, like the pygmy, you have to watch what you buy, have very, very tiny flowers. Looks very, very nice. Very neat. One problem, though, with these is as the summer goes on, it will get full of algae inside the pot. What do you care? You're not seeing it anyhow. Well, that's where I put my apple snail. Because a lot of the lilies, they grow. They only last maybe 2 or 3 days, and they die off, and they go back into the pot and start rotting away. Perfect food source for an apple snail to attack these dying plants and munch them on down. And the algae, as you can see by the picture, the string algae and all just growing profusely because it gets a lot of sunshine. The apple snail will eat that. So I wanted to show you that you don't necessarily have to take an apple snail and either throw it away or be scared that if you don't want to put it in the wild, that's fine. There's other ways you can utilize the animal until you need them again. And something like this, a pot like this, could probably be grown in your basement, but I would say it would take a very strong lighting system to keep it going. I know of some people who have had water hyacinth in their basements and have kept them going through the winter months because it stays warm enough in their basement not to freeze. It's the same way with these water lilies. You would have to, if you had it in your basement, have a very high output light. You know, maybe 12,000 luminous output, 7,000-8,000 luminous output, you know, over the pot itself. But anyway, I thought I'd just make a short video to show you this is what I did with the apple snail. I put them in here. You could start eating that algae, the dead plant matter. That's what they eat. So, and if I need them again, I'll put them back in a goldfish aquarium until I redo that aquarium when the weather cools down, because we're having very hot weather here. Short, easy video I thought I would do, but I did thought I would let you know more about substrates and porosity and permeability. It seems like people don't understand that of some of the comments I've made. Some of the people will make comments of, I don't know what I'm talking about. Well, I'm sorry. I was just at the University of Florida. Apparently they don't know what they're talking about either. But you're the right one, and the professors are the wrong ones. Okay, I got you. But yeah, everybody's wrong except you. You're the right one for those people who insist that this isn't right. Okay, anyhow. So I hope you enjoyed the video. And don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, happy fish keeping. And thank you for watching. Really, I appreciate it that you are watching. And I did want to bring this up. I know you probably have heard this with almost everybody's video. But 65% of the people that watch these videos, they don't subscribe. And this is a case where it does help the people producing these videos if you subscribe, because then it gets people to watch the video. More and more people that subscribe means more and more people can watch the video with the YouTube algorithm. That will put it up front, the more people that subscribe and watch it. So that's all it's for. You know, I'm not worried about the money aspect. I don't make really any money off of this. It doesn't mean, you know, that's why I don't have a Patreon or anything. I'm not trying to live off of this. Okay, so I don't really care about the money. But, you know, if you want to get the word out, that's the only way you're going to be able to do it. So until next time, happy fish keeping.